If we break it down and if we teach it, the one thing that we need to appreciate about autism is everything here is workable. Once the child understands the various components of talking, what, who, where, when, why, now is the time to put it into how. You will see the magic. Now the child has, just like they learn how to cycle, the child has learned how to tell you. Hello everybody, Rajni here from Sashakt Empowering Lives with yet another video today. What is the topic today? We'll talk about how do you develop language, teaching the language pyramid. So for all of you who are joining me again, a very warm welcome. And for all of you who are joining me first time, here's a quick introduction. My name is Rajni. I'm a special educator, now 18 years of work experience, a proud mother to 3 children, 2 human and 1 dog, and the eldest one of them on the autism spectrum. 21-year-old Jayaditya Singh is a graduate now, hotel management graduate, and is a working professional. Doesn't stay with us because he works in another city, stays in a PG accommodation all by himself. Yeah, I know, wow. And 18,000 plus students worldwide, lots of digital presence. We do YouTube videos, Instagram, Facebook, and a lot of other places, and some courses. The endeavor to let this world know that Jay's story is not just a wow. It is a sum total of structured, scientific, systematic work done with autism. That is the purpose of my life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to let you know that your kid on the autism spectrum can and will do massive progress to be as good as any other human being, provided you know the right strategies. So on that quick note, I don't know how quick that was. Let's get started. What is today's topic? Today's topic is the language pyramid. Now, what is the language pyramid? Language pyramid is a strategy that I developed long back when I was struggling with my son's language abilities. Now, as you can see on the screen, the language pyramid starts at the base with what? Goes up to who, goes up to where, then when, after that why, and finally the top portion, as you see here, is how. Now, the beauty of all of this is when we are trying and we are desperate that our child should be able to talk and tell us what happened at school or who hit him or what he did with friends and stuff. But each and every statement, each and every sentence is a cumulative sum total of everything. It's a sum total of who did you go out with, where did you go, what did you do, then what happened, when did you return, why did you fight with so and so. Yeah, so it's a sum total of everything. When we are talking, we are doing interchangeably what, who, where, when, why. And how is basically when what, who, where, when, why are put together, that makes up a how. Yeah, as simple as that. For example, beta, how did you get hurt? So I was walking. Who was walking? I was walking. I was walking in the park. Where? In the park. It was late evening. It was dark. Yeah, when? Late evening. Yeah, I could not see the stone. Yeah, why? Because it was late evening, I could not see the stone. I stumbled on the stone, I fell down. I got hurt. Now, that's the answer to a how question. Now, many of you will say, if an autistic child could remember the sequence and then could remember such complicated words like stumbled, then they would not have been autistic at all. Yeah? Absolutely right. Now, here is the point. What I was telling you was, this is how typically a regular neurotypical will talk and tell you how he got hurt. If you would ask him, the same age as your kid, probably. Yeah. I'm not talking about 4-year-olds, but I'm talking about, like, let's say a 7, 8-year-old typically will convey it to you and let you know, even if you're a stranger, how this kid got hurt. You know how it is, we are in the lift and we're talking to children and they have a putty or something, here, and they tell us everything. Auntie, aisa hua. Right? This happened. So, how far along are we when it comes to our child with autism as opposed to this kid? Now, many of you will say this comparison is bogus. This kid has a disability. He will never be able to. That's where my point of difference comes in, and it has been like this throughout life. That while this one, the neurotypical, picks it up in, let's say, by the age 5 years in life, the neurodiverse might take, like, not just by age of 5 years is fluent with it, might be like 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, but does it matter? If we break it down and if we teach it, the one thing that we need to appreciate about autism is everything here is workable, everything here is teachable. So what do? We start one step at a time. Again, we slice it down. So we say, what? Pick up 200 things in the house and say, what is this? What is the color? What is the use? What is the category? If your child is grown up, if the child is very young, forget category. At least 3 sentences. This is apple. Apple is red. Apple is fruit. I eat apple. Okay, 3 to 4. This is banana. Banana is yellow. Banana is a fruit. I eat banana. This is orange. Orange is orange. Orange is a fruit. I eat orange. Now, what are the chances when you show a kiwi? What is the kid going to do? If you've given enough practice, the kid is going to look at the kiwi and say, this is a kiwi. Kiwi is green. Kiwi is a fruit. I eat kiwi. Why? Because you gave so much of practice around what to say, how to describe, and you kept the processes standardized, simple, straight. And that's when the kid picks it up that, okay, I changed the keyword and like this I can describe this. So you will teach spoon and ask about fork. You will teach knife and ask about butter knife. Yeah, like this. I mean, it won't happen overnight, but you will teach. I hope you got the idea. You will teach steel bottle and ask about glass bottle. And if your child knows, if you have taught that this is steel, it feels like steel, when you touch it, the kind of sound it makes, and look at how when you touch it, this is glass. And you show enough of glass utensils. All of this is glass, all of this is steel. Yeah, so when you are giving that exposure, then you say, describe this bottle. He will say, this is blue bottle, this is made of steel, I drink water in the bottle, because you have taught all of that. And then you have not taught for the glass bottle, and you've just taught them the word the transparent, that glass is transparent. So you're saying steel bottle, blue bottle. Now the child will be able to, because you put in the keywords and you say about this, the child will say, this is glass bottle. Glass is transparent. I drink water from glass bottle. Blah, blah, blah. Like this, you will do the what. From what, you will go to who. Simple. First in real life, then in books. Who is sitting, who is sleeping, who is eating, who is this, who is that, who's wearing blue shirt, who's yawning, who's wearing glasses, etc., etc. The child understands that when somebody is talking who, they're asking about a particular person. Then you go to where. Make them do. Put it in the fridge, on the TV, behind the sofa, etc., etc., under the bed. Make them do it with the words they understand, the prepositions. After that, you go to when. When will daddy come? Evening. When will we go to mall? Sunday, etc., etc. And you show them. Create a mental imagery here by showing and matching with the words. And then why. For everything that you ask the kid, you say why. Yeah, for everything you tell the kid or the kid tells you, you ask why. So the kid says, pani de do, give me water. You say why. And then you put the words in the kid's mouth. Say to mama, I am thirsty. And then you say, and then kid says, I want shoes. You say why. Then you put the words in the kid's mouth. Say to mama, I want to go play. So when you continue to repeat this, the brain figures the cause and effect. And do it with varied things like 100, 150 different objects. That's when the kid gets it. Once the child understands the various components of talking, what, who, where, when, why, now is the time to put it into how. Now, when you will say, okay, tell it to mama like this. So, you want the kid to tell you what happened at school. So, every day you'll get the information from the teacher, or if you're a shadow, or any which ways. And once you have the information, you will say, now tell mama, I had maths class. Say. After that, I went for pottery. Say. Come on, say. Then it was recess time. I had paratha. Because you've got the information from the teacher and you know what tiffin you packed. So you are putting the words in the child's mouth. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4th day. And when I say 4th day, it doesn't like you tick, okay, 3 days done. What I mean is a couple of days down the line, like a few days down the line, maybe a week, 2 weeks. And you're doing that every day. And you're now asking, what did you do in school? And now you are not feeling the words in the mouth. And you will see the magic. Now the child has, just like they learned how to cycle, the child has learned how to tell you. Now you will extend this learning to the outside world. What did you do in the garden? What did you do in your Casio class? What did you do with your daddy when I was away? Yeah, etc., etc. And then further on. So the child will begin to give you the input. This is how you work on the pyramid. In case you're interested to see how children are going step forward on the pyramid, please feel free to join us in our Autism Masterclass. This happens on Thursdays or Fridays on 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The link is given in the description box below. Also, there is a lot more learning, teaching happening on Instagram, YouTube, every Tuesday, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Do not forget to log in at the right time. All the handles, Instagram handles and the YouTube links and everything, you will get in the description. Keep working with your child, keep believing in your child. If you like the content, share, subscribe, like, press the notification button, send it to somebody who will benefit, and may each kid win yours and mine too. I will see you next week.